Are there aspects to your day that you feel as if you're just, checking the box? Do you ever strive to reach out of your comfort zone, become uncomfortable, and level up? Privileged to be your host, this is Jason Wabick. Now, let's uncheck the box. A great day to everybody out there. Once again, my name is Jason Wabick, host of the Uncheck the Box podcast, where today we continue our journey together in the quest of being the best versions of ourselves that we can be. As I'm recording this today, it is on Father's Day, so a happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. Listen, guys, it's an important role, right? Truly blessed to be part of this awesome fraternity. And got up this morning, went for a bike ride with some brothers, friends, fathers, co-workers, and was greeted in the driveway by my 5-year-old who just could not wait to give me her gift. So absolutely just awesome day, great weather outside. We're going to fire up the grills later. So it's just a day to celebrate, right? The work that we do as fathers. But listen, I give credit where credit's due. I tell my wife all the time, there's no way that I could have been a father without all of the hard work that she puts in, right? And so I know we have Mother's Day, everybody. I know, but here on Father's Day, I still give a little gratitude to my wife who allowed me the ability to become part of this fraternity. And so she did all the hard work, that's for darn sure, and continues to do most of the hard work. My job is easy compared to her. And so truly blessed to have 4 awesome kids, blessed to have an amazing wife, and yeah, that makes this day extra special. So, any rate, going forward, today's topic was motivated by a quote that I saw on social media, and it said something of the sort of, show up for yourself every single day, right? And it caught me because I broke that word down. Show up for yourself every single day. And boy, if that isn't true, sometimes we try to show up for other people or try to do things for other people. But when you break it all down, what about ourselves, right? This is a time to be selfish, everybody, and show up for us every single day, especially if we're trying to push ourselves to be our best version. Then we got to show up for ourselves in order to even have a chance to be that best person that we can be, right? In order to show up for yourself, you have to be clear on who you are and what you truly desire so you can make choices that will lead you there. So again, I'll say that. In order to show up for yourself, you have to be clear with who you are as an individual, right? And what you truly desire so you can make choices that will lead you there. You need to know who you are first, everybody. Sometimes I know we second guess ourselves, and we're going to talk some about that, right? But you got to define what's most important to you. We talked about it on one of the first episodes about having a core purpose, right? What is your core purpose? So you have to define that, and that's part of knowing who you are. Then you have to trust yourself. You have to trust yourself during this execution process and understand that there's going to be some bumps in the road, but you have to continue to put trust in you. Another way to say that is loving you, knowing you, and honoring you, okay? You have to do all of those. You have to love who you are, you have to know who you are, and you have to honor every single day who you are. We're going to break that down. What is it that you want, okay? Talking down on yourself will not get you there. Speaking positives and having a positive mindset will truly help us in that quest. And my friends, don't put limits and boundaries to what you can achieve, which means moving outside of that comfort zone. The more walls we put up, the more boundaries we set, all that's going to do is delay our growth. So my friends, again, make sure, be very careful of those walls and put yourself out there. So what can we do? There are 7 things, but not limited to, okay? 7 things that we can focus on, okay, to make ourselves aware that we can show up for ourselves every single day, and quite frankly, to be intentional with doing so. Number one, start establishing a routine. And I'm not going to belabor this because if you've heard all of my episodes, I talk about this frequently, right? And again, I say this, it's amazing how all these episodes kind of are intertwined somewhat, different topic, but they're all connected somehow. But establish a routine. If you're going to own the day and take control of your life, then you need to have that plan. You need to have that roadmap. Okay? How can you show up for yourself if you don't have a plan for yourself? And in this process of planning, okay, it'll build confidence and it'll force yourself to show up in all areas, including mental and physical. We're going to have to endure a lot of different hurdles out there. Some are physical and some are mental. So showing up means show up on all accounts. Number two, be careful of negative self-talk. It's bad enough that we hear negative talk maybe from others, or we feel that other people are talking negatively behind our back. But it's another thing for us to think it and for us to speak negatively. Speak positively and what it is that you want and will it to happen. If you see it and speak it, you can achieve it. Okay, take yourself seriously. Speak with confidence. I have an example of just from this past week. I was working with two young aspiring professionals making cold calls to potential clients. And I know it's a very difficult thing to do for most people. And it was difficult for me. My confidence has certainly come up, so that certainly speaks volume about, again, showing up for yourself, right? I showed up every single day, and eventually something that's uncomfortable becomes comfortable. And so, with these two gentlemen, I was making some phone calls, and I set an appointment for a potential client, and I was going to give it to one of the two gentlemen that were there, and I didn't know a fair way to do it. I said, you guys want to do rocks, paper, scissors? And there was some deliberation going back and forth because I didn't want to just choose. I can't play favorites. And so I said, you know what? No, we're not going to do that. I'm going to continue to make phone calls. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to set another appointment. So this way you each get one. How's that sound? So the very next phone call, somebody picked up the phone, went into the conversation, and lo and behold, we set a second appointment. And then they each were able to get one. And so the one gentleman actually was pretty astute. He goes, do you believe that you can will things to happen? And I say, I actually do. Because it comes with confidence, right, everybody? And that execution and whatever it is you're looking at doing, if you do it with confidence, the execution's on point. And you show up. You show up for the activity. He goes, you willed it to happen. He goes, you spoke. You said, you know what? I'm going to make another appointment. And sure enough, you did. And my friends, absolutely, out of your comfort zone, set boundaries for yourself, speak with confidence, right? If you believe it and you speak it, you can achieve it, okay? Speak positivity, my friends, and keep that negative talk out. It is a toxin. It'll get you. The third one, commit, okay? I break this down this way. Distraction, my friends, leads to discouragement. Discouragement leads to slumping. A slump leads to lack of progress, and then ultimately a lack of progress leads to feeling of failure. And then we stop showing up, don't we? But it starts with distraction. We have to commit. Once we have that plan, we have to execute. Sometimes things get tough, but my friends, we have to lean into it. We have to continue to push forward. We are our own worst enemy because we are the ones that initiate our decline. We talked about that last week from Dave Anderson, right? So we start our own decline. Okay, so watch out for our own selves. Make the commitment. Don't get distracted. That can ultimately lead us down a false sense of failure, okay? Which ultimately may or may not be the case. And failure is a good thing, but not when we initiate it. The fourth one, stop overthinking things. Sometimes it's just okay to be, everybody, okay? Live in the moment. We have to trust our instincts, whether it ends up being right or wrong, Okay, we have to trust it. Okay, we have to own it, right? Again, sometimes we're going to fail, we're going to make mistakes, but that's how we learn and we grow. So stop overthinking things. Stop trying to be perfect. The next one, don't be too hard on yourselves, everybody, during this process. As we mentioned, okay, we aren't going to get it right every single time. So make room for mistakes and cut yourself some slack. For Pete's sakes, everybody, things are hard out there, especially when it comes to learning new things and trying to establish good processes. When you expect yourself to be perfect, you're never good enough. That's the problem, okay? But when you forgive yourself and remind yourself that you're only human, and you can move forward and try again. No one else is critiquing you the same way that you are critiquing yourself. So, my friends, just be aware, okay? Go easy on yourself, and you will definitely see yourself moving forward. The next one, stop caring what people think. Okay, and this is extremely difficult, especially with social media out there. You know, a lot of times things are put out there and we're trying to see, you know, what are people saying about it. So just be careful. It's a tough world that we're in right now with social media, okay? But stop caring what people think, or at least drastically minimize it, because it will bring you down and hold you back. Seeking other people's approval only robs us of being ourselves. The opinion of others don't define you, okay? You define you. And when you don't go after what you want, the only person who has to deal with the consequences is you. Isn't that so true, everybody? When I read that, man, I'll tell you what. I was like, wow, it struck me at the core. Again, you know, when you don't go after what you want, the only person that has to deal with the consequences is you. Nobody else. So why should we even care what those other people think? People would judge you and forget about it later. But when you love yourself enough to walk with a purpose and make a daily commitment to be who you are, everything else falls into place. Doesn't it happen that way? I think we all can attest to one thing in our life that has happened. Things just fall into place when we walk with that confidence and again, we show up for ourselves. Lastly, everybody, but not limited to, celebrate you, okay? Everything has been about yourself up to this point. And no, I started out by saying this. We're not being selfish for a change, okay? We're celebrating us. Okay, celebrate your successes and your failures, which then leads to celebrating your growth. Speak affirmations constantly. We talked about that already. Love yourself for not only who you are, but who you have become. When you accept who you are and the value that you have to offer, then you know that you can accomplish anything you desire. When you believe that you are worth it and trust and stay disciplined in the process, then you can become the best version of yourself. Everybody, amazing topic today. Show up for yourself today. Show up for yourself next week and beyond. Because if you do, you will start to implement some of the things that we talked about today. And you're just going to find, you're going to see a ton of results in the positive and the things that you can do in your life. And again, spread a lot of good out there, everybody. So, my friends, have a great rest of your day. To your fathers, have a great rest of your Father's Day if you're listening to it afterwards, which I think everybody will because I don't post it tomorrow. There you go, Jason. So, I hope you had a great Father's Day. But listen, have a great rest of your week. And next week, you're going to want to tune in. I got something special planned. I'm really, really excited about it. So, until next time, everybody, same time, same place. I appreciate you week in and week out. Have a great rest of your day, a phenomenal week, and we will see you soon. Take care, everybody.